See that video? Crazy person broke into his house and attacked him. Watch this. So he goes in his house. So here's the guy. He's got his hand on the hammer.
Everything's good. All right. Drop the hammer. No. Hey. What is going on right now?
It's horrible. Do you see that video? Crazy person.
Hey, how you guys out there doing in YouTube? In case you didn't hear me, hi YouTube. So I hope that you could see what was going on there. Thank you for listening to this video, watching this video. This is a topic that means a lot to me. I've been doing martial arts since 1993. My first workout was even before that. You get the point. I deviated, doing other stuff. You get the point. I'm like a lifelong martial artist. I don't care if you don't believe me, if you're hating on me. I'm still young enough to spar. I live in Southern California, and I'm not trying to act hard. I'm trying to get you on my side and give you some advice. You're probably some good regular person that doesn't have the time to do martial arts. You probably have a family, you probably have a career. So again, thank you, and you're very welcome here. As you've seen in this video, I'm at work. I gotta look at these. I gotta look at this screen, surveillance screen. You saw what happened, okay? And my plight here is, especially in California and coming to a state near you, the law here is very diminutive or negative or not really conducive for self-defense. We had a random shooting in the street a couple months ago, and I don't want to give away my location. Just fucking take my word on it, and thank you. And I can't do anything about it. You know why? Because when I'm 10-7, when I'm off duty, my firearms, they get locked up because I'm more afraid of the law than to protect my own life. Now, best believe, if I had a wife and daughters or something, I would probably be packing a gun all the fucking time. But generally, when police see a happy couple, they're not going to interrogate you as much as when they see the freaking sleep paralysis hat man, ogre man, alone. You know what I'm saying? Guns go in the safe, locked up, so that I'm vulnerable because I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to have to get my situation worse and worse and worse. So, I'm glad that you've seen this video. I hope it was able to be seen. I held my phone right. You guys, you may have heard some bullshit about self-defense. Like, oh, just kick him in the nuts. Or you block the knife, you come over the wrist, you grab behind the thing while you elbow him in the face, and then you Aikido, Judo tumble him down. Or you probably hear like your de-escalation tactics. There's people in this world that even when police presence are present, they still hit this man with a hammer or shoot you or what have you. They don't care about messing up their lives. They feel like their lives are already messed up. They're on drugs. You got to get it over with when you're protecting you and your life. The dude that just got hit by a hammer, what are you going to do with that, man? You're going to go back to work? You're going to patch it up? You're going to sew it up? What if you get a speech impediment now? What if you lose what if you lose all your motor skills? What are you going to do? Retire? You're going to get a pension? Is the government going to help you? Are you even middle-aged? Is your wife going to stay with you? Can you play with your kids? Can you go to work? Can you do your hobbies? You get the point. Can you go fishing? Can you play basketball? Whatever makes you tick. Not only that, but no matter how good or benevolent or religious your wife is, she's now with a vegetable that can barely talk or perform. And everybody's human. All because we have to fear the law, we lost our constitutional rights. Here in Florida, the police are really cool there. If you kill an intruder, even if you shoot them in the fucking back, they're like, good job, civilian. Even if I'm not trying to take your life, if I was a bad guy, if I take something of your property, in California, if I'm running away with your stuff, a family heirloom, something that's very expensive, something you gave your wife or kid, you're not supposed to shoot me because my life is more valuable than your bourgeois self-entitlement to ownership of property. Your property's not worth a human life. Stealing people's property that they worked really, really hard for and need very much for the pursuit of happiness, for the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness is a constitutional right. And your tools for your job, your ornaments and things that make your house more pleasant, things that make life easier, things that you need, things of special value. If someone is trying to take that from you, you should have every and all right to bust a cap in them. And if I'm a guest at your home and you just have to be with people you trust. For example, the serial killer John Wayne Gacy, he would welcome young men in their home and he would kill them, right? So just don't go into people's homes and let them put handcuffs on you or let them poison your drink. Be careful of who you hang out with and what kind of, but your home is your castle. If I go to your house, you're taking the risk of having a guest you don't really know, and I'm taking a risk of being in an endeavor that I'm not familiar with. What I'm trying to say is, your home is your castle, or it could be my dungeon. And nonetheless, that's a tangent. If anybody's trying to take your property, especially your life, especially the sanctity of your wife and kids, you should by all means destroy that target. You should by all means dispatch that problem as quickly as possible. Because as a lifelong martial artist, I'm telling you, all the self-defense procedures, the very honest martial art trainers will tell you, it's just a game plan. There's no guarantees. Real life is very chaotic. And all the de-escalation methods, all the stupid laws about how your constitutional right doesn't mean shit, it's just going to get you killed, or it's going to really hinder the quality of your life. Because again, as a lifelong martial artist, right now, I haven't been training for almost 4 years. And I'm kind of really overweight. So my cardio wouldn't be that great. And let me tell you, if you're a regular person that doesn't do martial arts, doesn't have a very robust physical hobby, my cardio is still going to be like 3 times better than yours after a cup of coffee, because I've been doing martial arts my whole life. Now imagine somebody on drugs and who's desperate and who doesn't care. You need to dispatch that problem right away. I'm a big dude right now, and if I were to get in a fight, I need to knock that fucker out, or I need to lay him out, or get a finishing hold on him immediately, because I'm going to get tired And then I can get in serious danger, no matter how big or small the other guy is. And if you get in a precarious situation and you don't know how unpredictable or psychotic people are, once they knock you out, once they take advantage of you, are they going to stomp you to death? Are they going to try to defile your wife or kid? You need to dispatch that problem as soon as possible, because you don't know what else these demon acts are going to do. Do you understand what I mean, fellow viewer of YouTube? So, there's people out there that say that people like me are paranoid, or that people who own guns have some kind of chip on their shoulder, or like, people with big guns and big trucks have small PPs. Like, all this other stupid shaming shit. There's a saying, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than be a gardener in the middle of a war. I mean, the video's over. I'm just gonna rant whatever comes to my mind now. Like, I know how it is to have people in your life to protect. Okay, I wasn't always a single nomadic Sasquatch ass looking fucking vagabond single person. You guys out there, we need to show women that men still exist, and there's no shame in having a piece. Whether it's a gun, a knife, a fucking mace, a fucking baseball bat, you need to dispatch that problem right away. I'm kind of rambling now, which gets me on another point. I'm a martial artist and stuff, so I'll give you some advice. I remember this one kid that I knew, and he came from a very rough background, lived in the ghetto, always in precarious situations. So he wanted to carry knives a lot, right? And I mean, some of the situations he got into, and he told me, they were kind of his fault. So, trying to be big brother, I told him, I was like, look son, you're obviously not going to listen to me in that you should just try to better your life and get out of those situations and not add flames, not add, don't add fuel to fire and try to de-escalate. But if you're going to go that route, and if you're going to be shady and you're going to get in the mix and go stepping in shit, meaning like people mess with you, and instead of trying to diffuse a situation, you're going to fight back, and if you have a knife, bro, you're asking for prison. This is commensurate or conducive to giving you advice, even though if you're a law-abiding citizen, because what I told him next, I was like, look it, man, if you're going to shake somebody, that's extremely up close and personal, and depending on how dedicated or committed they are to fight or die, or how psychotic they are, you're not really going to finish anybody fast with a knife that's fighting back, unless you're some kind of Spetsnaz Rambo. And even then and there, you have to take what you can get, meaning like, if this person has their head down and they're swinging a machete after you or something, baseball bat, usually with knives, you have to make sure that person, what's the word, exsanguinates, they have to bleed out. You're in a fight, and it's going to go, there's a saying about knife fights. It goes for fighting. If you had to get in a fight to defend your life against a wild animal, one person dies immediately, the other person dies at the hospital. You get the point, right? There's people who have won fights with bears, but they died anyway. The bear died like 20 minutes later after it finally bled to death, getting impaled or shot. I'm sure shot placement and calibers really, really matter at that one, and that's kind of a tangent. But I was telling him, like, if I were you, I'd have like a lock and a sock, because, boom, that if you crack somebody in the dome with a blunt force weapon, you're going to end the fight immediately. If you have a knife, it has pros and cons. If you fall on the ground, if you slip and fall, a blunt force weapon is useless now. Imagine you're getting attacked by a mountain lion, a crackhead on fentanyl. Having a blunt force weapon while you're slipped and fell is now a bad idea, because you kind of need to be on your feet to generate momentum. And now a knife, if you were down on the ground, is the way to go if you don't have a gun. But blunt force weapons or kinetic weapons that are meant to finish the job as soon as possible. Now, I mean, of course, a 12-gauge shotgun is going to be a lot better of a kinetic weapon than a 9mm pistol. But you have to have what you have, what's compact, what's able to be carried. You get the point. I mean, honestly, man, if I still had a family situation going, I wouldn't even shower without my Glock. I understand gun safety, keeping them away from children or intruders, like someone who could break in and steal your stuff, or somebody's kid that's not going to listen to go put your hand in the cookie jar and they're going to get a hold of your weapon. I understand that, but at the same time, example, I met up with a woman at a motel, and been waiting like 2 weeks to get my paycheck to get freaky with her. And then she basically told me how like some biker gangster was after her, like beat her, possessive. And I was like, oh man, this is the only motel in this town. Of course he's gonna come looking for her here. I had a hunting knife at that time. I'm just trying to say that my coworker was telling me that there was a story that they let this man in their house for a free place to stay for a while, but this guy, the guy's house, he was a knife collector. So when he was at work, the guy just took a knife off the wall and had his way with his wife. What I'm trying to get at is, I don't know what kind of man you are. Maybe you like Funko Pops and anime cartoons, and you like to sit there and watch sports, and the world's A-okay, and the whole neighborhood likes you. But a guy like me, especially if I had a family, even without a family, I always have a weapon near me. I don't trust these crackheads. I've been doing martial arts my whole life. And fist fighting, this isn't the movies. This isn't the movies, man. I've been doing martial arts my whole life. I've outsparred so many people. And I'm not going to try, I don't think I'm going to Van Damme or Steven Seagal or Krav Maga my way out of a dire problem anywhere. I'm going to pick up a stick. I'm going to have a pocket knife. I'm going to have some mace. When I go hiking, I'll usually get a big stick at least. Because you'll find out real quick when you get in a situation that's really scary, whether anything goes down or not, whether or not anything happens, how precarious and how vulnerable and how bad that situation can get. You need to have any kind of upper hand you could possibly have. And if I've been doing martial arts my whole life and weigh almost 300 pounds, and I want some kind of weapon on me, because nobody's going to come at you fair. If someone, like maybe he's smaller than you, or maybe like you're a bigger, stronger person than him, and he's so confident to start a fight with you, he's so confident to start a fight with you, he's probably packing a knife. Or the guy is showing you a knife because he doesn't. Either he's trying to mug you or he's trying to be like, get away from me. Like, you don't want this. You know what I mean? There's situations, different situations. And you want to be the kind of person. Now, there's laws against brandishing. Brandishing a weapon can make things worse. And sometimes verbal de-escalation, it's not going to happen. Verbal de-escalation is not going to really work on someone who's dedicated on your demise or whose mind is totally blown from drugs. So you don't know what you're dealing with. You need to be prepared, and they need to have laws that allow citizens, civilians, whatever, passerbys, hapless bystanders, whatever, to not only defend themselves and their family, but to aid and interdict other people about to harm their neighbor. You get what I mean, guys? So I hope that all made sense. I hope you learned something, that this is real life. No one's gonna Bruce Lee their way out of fighting 6 or 10 people. Nobody's gonna be able to reason with a committed, demonized, fucking possessed crackhead. Nobody can predict if even police presence or brandishing a weapon or assertive or de-escalating dialogue is going to help your situation. You need to be prepared for the worst case possible, and you need to end the threat immediately, because you don't know what the hell's going to happen afterward, and it can alter your life. You guys have a good one. God bless you.